Hey, good morning, folks. Happy hump day. Hope everyone's doing all right. We'll get stuck in here, to be honest with you. So at this moment in time, we've had rumblings. I'm sure you've heard we've had rumblings of a price cap on Russian crude. But the fact of the matter is, this is, one of the traders in our room yesterday asked how are they actually going to do this? Well, that is the question we're all asking. Like the mechanisms in which they're going to implement this will be key, I reckon, in terms of how it's going to play out in terms of prices. But right now, we've seen a three. I mean, since they've sort of announced this, I mean, it was always in the back burner, but they've so the start of the G7 summit, they've pretty much announced this, and we've had a 3-day rally on the price of crude. Let me just swap this chart here. Yeah, so a 3-day rally here, and we're holding above that 110 level. Really great action yesterday, and also API numbers came in at a much larger draw than expected. For crude traders, we will have the DOE today. Whether or not it will be, you know, crazy market moving or pertinent for that. I mean, it's always pertinent. It's always important to monitor, but whether it will be a main driver for prices today remains to be seen because we do have a lot of other moving parts of in within the global context and the markets, obviously. So that is crude. If so overnight trade. Didn't mention this yesterday. Yeah, so we failed to hold the gap. Similar on the Nasdaq, closed. Uh, Pretty much just failed to hold on that 3,900 levels on the SPOs, and now we are back to test, before we go back to the 3,800s, really. I mean, if we're being really honest with ourselves, that is a really important point to be tested before we see where this market could go, potentially the support trend line. Maybe a bit of faffle over here before then buys take over again and then push us above. But it will be still important to note that the gap remains an important level for buyers to buy over and hold, which they have failed for the time being. Uh, in terms of technicals on the euro, really decent stuff. I mean, a bit of weakness coming through, but we are holding in that area there. If you think about it, if you were trying to get long this euro, I mean, I wouldn't right now due to the fact that we have the G7 and the ECB central banking forum going on. Might want to wait a few days to just kind of see where this, but I don't expect for it to, for them to come up with anything crazy. And if you were trying to get long over here, that is a decent stop level for, you're looking at a 5-6 to 1 trade, and then further, if you're looking at final targets around spot 0.85s. Similar on the Aussie, this resistance trend line now completed. We've got that test yesterday and then just turn back around. We'll see what happens on this double bottom here. If we get supported, perhaps looking for that break to then trade back to the highs of this range. Gold still trades near 2-week lows, just hovering around there. I do want to see this get tested. If we get a real quick flush and test, hold, and then we go back above, that would be, to me, that would be an indication that we might get a bit of a rally today from this potential support trend line. But if it just slowly creeps down, there is a possibility we are looking to break this and make a test of the 1800s before potentially heading lower, looking at 1780s, all those prime levels as traders, if you traded gold for a while, just prime levels to be looking at. So what can we expect today in terms of crude prices, which, our head of trading does a more thorough job of explaining technicals. So head over to Dun Capital. Here, head over to the pre-US prep, which is delivered daily. And if you want to enjoy that live, enjoy us on our Discord room, where we are running a 1 month free trial. So So before I go, in terms of technicals, pretty much exactly what I said yesterday, looking to test that prior year high around 112s, right? So right now, would I want to get long around 110s? The first test, maybe not, if I'm being honest. I want to see this test and buyers show, what do you call this, commitment to holding the 110 level before then potentially start using that level to trade off of. So that is, if we don't hold this level, look at this, it's a bit of a messy area really. So we might be getting a few tests, maybe try to get to 109s. But if we do get back to, around this level here, right? So that is around 6.59s, around 107s. That would be a nice guac line. If I'm, that would be a nice guac line, a nice line to just, do a row off of it. You have 106s just below, and this prior low here 2 days ago to just, use it as a measure of a stopgap. So I hope this was useful. Any questions at all, hit me in the comments or in the Discord room or on my Twitter. Have a great session ahead. Happy hump day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.